Okay, I'm going to have to buy a new camera again. This one was never that great, and I made the mistake of buying a no-brand camera from Amazon. I would stick with brands if you buy anything. I do have one in my shopping cart, and although I hate spending the money, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do it. Uh, this one has one battery that came with it that doesn't work, and the other battery only holds a charge for about 10 minutes. So, and also there's focusing problems and all kinds of stuff. So, excuse the dogs there. Anyway, it's, I think, week 3 in the garden. The grass around the garden is finally coming up. You can just barely see it. But I've been out here twice a day watering it. It's been so dry here. All we need is a good rain, and then this grass will start coming up. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to keep driving my water bill up. I wanted to talk about this pumpkin fertilizer for a bit. I'm having to buy another bottle. I'd say for a garden this tiny, one bottle lasts about a month, and that's a little expensive. But the plants seem to like it. They're growing well. So, yeah, if you're thinking of this, I got it on Amazon, and it's by Leaves and Soul. And I try it, but yeah, it's a bit pricey. That brings me to the subject of giant pumpkins, believe it or not, because goodness gracious, a lot of giant pumpkin growers mix their own fertilizers, and they have big vats of fertilizer, and they mix it just so for each plant. And my goodness, I have some noisy poodles today. And it's just a very money-consuming hobby. But of course, they get a little bit back. If they do grow a champion pumpkin, they can sell the seeds for like $20 a small packet. So they do make a little bit back. But and then there's this fun of having this giant thing in your garden. I think last week when I talked about you don't have to follow giant pumpkin growers, everything they do to successfully grow a jack-o'-lantern. I'm gonna amend that a little, because if you're set on growing a prize-winning jack-o'-lantern for the county fair, I would follow a little bit of what the giant pumpkin growers are saying. Just keep in mind that a jack-o'-lantern vine is a little tougher than the kind of vine that grows a giant pumpkin. They're not the same thing. I'm not going to get into that because I get confused, but most giant pumpkins are this one variety called Atlantic Giant. I've tried to grow Atlantic Giant before. I'll say it's the pumpkin that gave pumpkins a bad name as far as being fragile is concerned. They really require a lot of attention just to keep going. They are susceptible to all kinds of diseases. And I will never grow them again. But they are the variety that most of the giant pumpkins come from. And you'll see the giant pumpkin growers talking about different names on the Atlantic Giant. Those are the names of the people who grew the Atlantic Giant and got prizes. So, but anyway, that kind of pumpkin is hard to grow. Jack-o'-lanterns are a little less fussy. Most of them are anyway. The one I've got here is called jack-o'-lantern, and it's incredibly unfussy and incredibly productive. And I think that's, you, because of that, you don't have to follow everything. If you're trying to grow a giant jack-o'-lantern, you don't have to follow everything that the giant pumpkin growers are telling you. So just keep that in mind. I don't try to grow giants, so I just let these grow and do what they're going to do, and I don't stress about the vine being twisted or, well, all the other things they stress about. I do spray them with fertilizer once a week. I do companion plant some white icicle radishes because that seems to deter the squash bugs that are a big problem around here. And whenever I can, I try to grow powdery mildew resistant varieties. Keep in mind that powdery mildew resistant variety doesn't mean you won't get powdery mildew, but what I have observed over years, and please forgive me, I haven't had any coffee yet, I'm not thinking very straight. What I've seen over many years of growing is that powdery mildew occurs in the F1 varieties, the resistant varieties, late in the season. So late in the season it doesn't matter anymore. You've harvested most of the pumpkins and the season's pretty much at a close. So if the plant dies from powdery mildew, fine. Thing is, you take the plant out and then you put it in the garbage. Take that powdery mildew off your property. Although it does, I think it flies through the air, so that may not make any difference. But that said, I still do watch giant pumpkin growers, and a lot of the reason is, oh, my battery's starting to go already. A lot of the reason is that that's what's on YouTube, is giant pumpkin growers. And they are interesting, and you do find out a few things. But mostly, as I said last week, growing jack-o'-lanterns is the same as growing anything else in the garden. No fuss required. So I am going to get off the line now because my battery is dying, and I will see you next time.